Hot take. Alcohol and AI are not your best friends. Sharon, Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 174 of our Supersize Your Business. Supersize You annual challenge. Today we're talking about alcohol and health. And I contend alcohol and health, at least excess alcohol and health, do not mix. If you want to be super successful in your life, you don't consume massive quantities of alcohol or anything else that alters your personal chemistry and the way your brain works, your sleep. Too much alcohol, it's a neurotoxin and it's a carcinogen. So do we want to be consuming a lot of those things? I guess we get enough of them in processed foods and in just living our life and being in the environments that we live in. Do we really want to stoke the fire by adding fuel? I contend not so much. Now, we're not going to talk about, I guess I could share some personal stories and part of why I'm not a big drinker anymore. One, I think I'm really stupid when I drink, and I don't want to be really stupid. It's one of my core values to not come off as a bumbling moron at too many opportunities. I guess I show up every day so you can decide for yourself. But I found when I was younger, and I grew up in the 1970s in Wisconsin where the drinking age was 18. That meant everybody in high school was pretty much already consuming alcohol and drinking because it was readily available. And I think personally that was a good thing, because by the time I went to college, most of that nonsense was out of my system. So I had a few less experiences than some of my peers that came from other states where the drinking age was 21. So they'd never even had alcohol before. And this is the first time out of their parents' house when they could get access to alcohol. Because my first few years in college were in Wisconsin still, where the drinking age was 18. Alcohol, the effects of alcohol. Now, we know that it lowers our inhibitions. It makes us feel more confident and proud and bravado up to a point. But it also disrupts our sleep. It impairs our recovery. So if we've got an injury or an illness, it takes longer to get better. It affects our mental health and well-being. It increases disease risk. And it just adds empty calories and things that we don't necessarily need. Now, if you're in college and you've got the freshman 15 going on, part of it's usually due to alcohol. Anyway, we're going to look at this today, and our challenge today, I'm going to tell you what it is right now. We are going to look at it through the lens of us being an outside observer of our behavior. And honestly, assess and ask ourselves, have you ever, that's what we're going to talk about for our action item, but have you ever tracked your alcohol consumption? I mean, honestly tracked. I mean, I don't drink any alcohol for the most part. I mean, I'll have like maybe 5-6 red wines through the course of a year, and not giant glasses of red wine. We go out to dinner with the family and might have a red wine. It depends. If I have work to do or things I want to do that I need my brain to function 100% afterwards, I'll just pass at lunch or dinner on the wine. I grew up in an environment with respect to work where some cultures really embraced alcohol, which I think was to our detriment as employees, and others just didn't really have much to do with it. They had sober activities, or they had activities that didn't center around alcohol. Totally different cultures to be and environments to be involved in. But it's always our personal responsibility and up to us to just say no to the things that aren't right for us. It always has been. People will always tempt us, right? There's always that little angel and that little devil sitting on your shoulder, and you get to decide what to do. Have I done embarrassing things when I was under the influence of alcohol? Yeah, probably. Here's the gift in that. I don't really remember. But here's the rub. My subconscious knows and my subconscious remembers. And it's part of why I say no way more often than yes. And it's a personal decision and a personal choice. But with everything else, being self-aware, being 100% honest with ourselves is where we start anything, any type of improvement. And so I want to share this tool today, the Head Heart Intuition tool. And we usually use this for helping us make decisions and decide among alternatives. But today I want you to use it on yourself and just check in with yourself. What does your head say about your alcohol consumption? And I grabbed this because I'm Wisconsin, Liney's. And I grabbed this one because it's an IPA, an amber ale. And it's not an IPA, it's just an amber ale. I don't even know what it is. There's so many. Liquor is one of the things that there's been a massive proliferation of, just like the grocery store. You go to the grocery store and there's just like When there used to be 3 choices, now there's 50. It's crazy. But apparently there's a market for everything. So I challenge you today, and this wasn't what I was going to do, but I'm going to do it right now because I just thought of it. I challenge you to go 7 days without consuming any alcohol and see how does it impact you. How does it affect your sleep? How does it affect your thinking? How does it affect your recovery? How does it impact your decision making, etc.? And then we're going to check back in 7 days, and you're going to share, if you're brave, how it impacted you. I think a whole lot of people, and a whole lot of us, like when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, my first job out of college was making toilet paper. So there you go. But we worked a Southern Swing shift rotation, which meant the only time you were off was the same time your team or other teams on that same rotation were off. And it was a really weird schedule. I do not miss it at all. I did learn a lot about myself during it, but I do not miss it. But we would hang out with our teams and with our groups socially in addition to work because we only had the same time off. It's where I learned to love Tuesday movie day, Tuesday discount movie day, because I could go to the movie by myself and it was cool. Anyway, I digress. I did a little drinking on that job and in that environment and in that situation. And when I look back now, I think it's where I got my best start in personal development training and things, but also not my best start in my career. It was a great start to my career, don't get me wrong. But when I think about personal development and personal behavior, it wasn't my proudest moments. It's kind of hard to admit, isn't it? It is the one time I nearly got a DUI. And they were called DWIs back then, but I didn't because somebody else came racing by. All right, what are we doing today? We're going to think about the head-heart intuition tool and apply that to our personal consumption of alcohol or other things that we know aren't good for us. If you're taking drugs, I don't have to tell you. You know that's not good for you. If you're smoking, we talked about that yesterday or the day before. You know that's not good for you. Nobody needs to tell you, but you and your subconscious need to tell you and question and say, is this really in my best interest or am I just addicted to cigarettes? I had to do this with diet soda and coffee. I had to get off diet soda and coffee because I was literally addicted to it. I had rebound headaches for at least 2 weeks when I stopped drinking coffee and diet pop. So what does that tell me? That told me big time that I was addicted to it and I needed to change, or number one, I think those things are bad for us too. Not coffee. I found out, I gave up coffee for 5 years and then I found out it's actually good for me. And so I started drinking it again. Black coffee though. Although I did have a caramel whipped cream yummy coffee last night when I was doing some work. All right, that's it. I'm going to stop rambling. If I can help you anyway, ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day. And I will, of course, be with you tomorrow with another challenge to become the best possible version of you, because that's how we supersize. Have a great day.